Welcome back, coin lovers. Today we're looking at another fascinating piece of American coinage, the 1975 Jefferson Nickel. At first glance, it may just seem like any other nickel you'd find in pocket change, but when we explore its design, its history, and its place in American life during the mid-1970s, we discover there's more to it than meets the eye. The Jefferson Nickel had already been in circulation for decades by the time this coin was struck in 1975. Designed by Felix Schlag in 1938, the coin pays tribute to Thomas Jefferson, the nation's third president and the author of the Declaration of Independence. Asterisk on the obverse, or in front of the coin, we see Jefferson's left-facing portrait. To the left of his profile are the words "In God We Trust," while to the right we find liberty, followed by the year 1975. Just beside the date, you'll notice the small D mint mark, which tells us this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Flipping to the reverse, we find the elegant depiction of Jefferson's Virginia home, Monticello. Above the building is the motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, and below are the inscriptions Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. Now let's talk mintage. The 1975 Jefferson Nickel had a massive production run, with over 401 million coins struck at the Denver Mint that year. With numbers like that, it's no surprise that these coins are quite common today, especially in circulated condition. You can still find them in rolls from the bank, in pocket change, or sitting in coin jars around the house. But to really understand this coin, we need to step back into the world of 1975 America. It was a transitional time for the country. The Vietnam War had officially ended, and the nation was healing from years of conflict. At the same time, America was celebrating its progress in technology and culture. The Apollo program had recently wrapped up after sending astronauts to the moon, while computers were beginning to slowly make their way into businesses. In entertainment, the movie Jaws was taking over theaters, and music from bands like Led Zeppelin and Fleetwood Mac dominated the airwaves. Everyday life, though, was marked by rising inflation. Gasoline averaged about 57 cents a gallon, and a loaf of bread cost around 30 cents. The 1975 nickel would have been part of daily transactions during this era, slipping in and out of cash registers across the country. Now let's look at the value. In average circulated condition, the 1975 Jefferson Nickel is typically only worth its face value of 5 cents. That's because of the very high mint, but as always, condition makes the difference. In uncirculated grades like MS-65, these coins can be worth $2 to $5. Coins with exceptionally sharp strikes, especially those that show full steps on Monticello, can be worth much more. A high-grade 1975 nickel with full steps can sometimes bring in hundreds of dollars at auction because they're so difficult to find. Collectors also enjoy searching for error coins, and the 1975 nickel does have some interesting varieties. These include off-center strikes, die cracks, and repunched mint. Depending on the severity and demand, such errors can range from a few dollars to well over $50 or $100. That's why it pays to take a closer look at your nickels with a magnifying glass. You never know what you might find. If you own a 1975 Jefferson Nickel, what should you do? First, examine the condition. If it's worn and circulated, it's mainly a fun historical keepsake, but not highly valuable. If it has luster, sharp details, and especially if it shows full steps on Monticello, then it might be worth submitting for professional grading. Companies like PCGS or NGC can give it an official grade and increase its value to collectors. As for selling, there are several options. Local coin shops often buy Jefferson nickels, though prices for common examples won't be high. Online platforms like eBay or collector forums are great places to reach buyers who might be looking for high-grade or error coins. And if you happen to have an especially rare variety or top-graded example, consigning it to a coin auction could bring in the best return. The 1975 Jefferson Nickel is a reminder that not all collectible coins have to be rare to be meaningful. While most are common, they connect us to an era of change in American history, the end of a long war, the rise of new technologies, and the cultural shifts of the 1970s. Even a simple nickel carries the stories of the people who spent it, the economy that circulated it, and the nation that minted it.